Hi everybody, welcome to Tuesday night yoga for SunWater Spa. My name is Searle and I will be guiding you through this practice tonight. So I hope you're all having a great week, well as good as can be expected in this quarantine time. So tonight I thought we would focus on mandala. Mandala is a circle shape. Something a little different. You know, you might get mixed up in the practice, like which direction are we going? But that's kind of a good thing. Sometimes we get sort of used to doing our yoga in the same direction all the time. We get kind of linear, I guess, in our yoga. There's all different styles of yoga, so we'll make that point. But for me, I find sometimes I get pretty linear. So it's fun to mix it up, do some circles, do some different shapes and movements in our practice tonight. So let's do that. So without any further ado, I'm going to come back to my mat and we are going to get started in our yoga tonight. Remember, this is your practice, so take this at any level that's comfortable for you. So if anything is too challenging, always feel free to step back. Don't feel like you have to, work super hard. This is your practice, so find something, a good balance, if you will, for yourself tonight. All right, I'm going to come back to my mat and we'll get started. Change this. All right. So we'll come to a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. It might mean that you want to sit on a pillow to elevate your hips slightly. That's great. You can even sit on a chair or your couch if you want to. So take a seat. Close your eyes for a moment or just gaze softly at the floor. Draw a breath in and out. Finding your seat. Just sitting tall, eyes closed. Picture in your mind a circle, a mandala shape. And there are lots and lots of different mandalas, and lots of different traditions use mandalas. There's not just one. So any circle within a square, more traditional, but just thinking of that circle shape. Circles are never ending. There's no beginning and there's no end. So we'll bring our hands together at our heart just to open our practice with one chant of Om. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it all the way out. And then inhale for Om. Om. Just bring your hands into your lap, close your eyes, sit for just another moment. And then drop your chin forward, taking your head around to the right for a slow, easy neck roll. Always gentle on your neck. Let's take it around one more time to the right. Stopping in the center, and we're going to take your head around to the left 2 times. It's nice and easy. And back into the center. Lift your chin up towards the ceiling. Let your head gently fall back. And then drop your chin forward again. And lift your chin up towards the ceiling. Really reach your chin, stretch through the front of your throat. And then relax the head straight down, gazing at your feet. And bring your head back to a neutral position. All right, let's shake out the hands. Just kind of shake off our day, shake it out. Kind of like you're pushing the energy away from your body. Just kind of shake it off. Bring your arms up, bring your arms down, shake it all off. Good, and then let your hands just rest onto your knees and roll your shoulders. Nice and free flowing, just easy shoulder rolls. And then take it the other direction and around. All right, let's bring the soles of our feet together. Take your knees out wide. And you might want to pull the flesh back so you feel your two sit bones onto the ground. Gently press your hands to your knees and start to make your circles here in the center of your body. Taking it around. Good. So mandalas are often referred to as bringing us to our center, or bringing you to the center of the universe, taking you towards higher power, towards God, whatever you want to call your center, your core. So you think of a circle and you circle inward. And then of course you can always do the opposite direction. So let's just say right now, let's circle in. So we're drawing our energy in towards the middle of our body, in towards our center. And as you're spinning your ribs, bringing your circle inward, just think in terms of, what energy do you want to bring in? Bring into your practice, bring into your life. What energy? Just randomly think of it, call it in. Maybe it's energy of positivity, maybe it's the energy of hope, maybe it's energy of just light and brightness. I don't know, you name what's important for you. Good. Let's go the other direction. So take a spin the other way. And let's visual very tight in our belly, tight in our ribs. And now that energy is expanding out. So circling out, spiraling out energy. And just as you thought of what energy you want to bring in, into your life, into your practice, think in terms now of what energy you want to send out. What energy do you want to offer up for your practice? What energy do you want to send out to the world, to those who most need it? And don't discount it. Sometimes we think, oh, my positive thoughts are just positive thoughts going off into the air. Not so. There's plenty of spiritual and scientific studies that show there is power in our prayers, power in our meditation. So let that radiate from you tonight. All right, coming back into the center. Sit for just a moment with your eyes closed after doing all that spinning. Just notice subtle difference in how you feel after that movement. All right, let's come on to our hands and knees. And so like we did before, we're going to stay with our circles. So usually we'll just do cat and cow, which is awesome. But tonight, let's make that a circle. So draw around. Big circles. Warming up your shoulders and your hips. Your back. Now take that the other direction, circle around, and incorporate your cat and cow. So lift your spine, drop your belly, lift your spine. Drop your belly. Good, and then coming into center, into all four, drop back into child's pose. So hips come down to your heels, walk your hands a little closer, and then drop down into it. So if it's hard to put your head on the ground, stack your hands and place your forehead on your hands. You can let your arms be soft here for a moment. Just let your forehead come down to the ground, around your spine. Good, now crawl your fingertips forward. Reach your hands out as far forward as you can. Spread your fingers wide. Press into your fingertips and lift your palms off the ground. Lift your elbows and your shoulders up. Bring your shoulder blades, the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together on your back, so right behind your heart. Feel a gentle squeeze in. And now lifting your head, you're going to gaze at your fingers and then clawing the floor, pull yourself forward, lay your belly onto the ground. Good, squeeze your legs together. And we're going to slide our elbows forward for Sphinx pose. So elbows are right underneath your shoulder. Press your fingers into the ground and then pull your chest through. And then soften down. Bring your hands along the sides of your rib cage. Roll back into your child's pose. One more time, walk your hands back around your spine. And then inhale, lifting yourself up. Find your first downward facing dog. So walk your hands slightly forward and then lift up, downward dog. Stretch back. Fingers spread wide. And then just take a moment here in the pose. It's your first one of the evening. So press your hands into the ground. Reach your hips back and apart. Pull your ribs up into your body. Shoulders up slightly. Good, now just wag your tail. So hips go side to side, stretching out the side of your body. And then gently allow your knees to come down onto the ground. Step your right foot up between your hands. Walk your hands slightly forward and come into a low lunge. So keep this knee as close to your heel as you can. Let your hips drop forward. Lift your chest. Shoulders down your back. And then roll back into your hips. Let's switch legs. So take your left leg up front. Walk your hands forward. And come into your low lunge. Hug your legs towards each other. Lift your shoulders. Again, roll your shoulder blades down, back. So you feel the bottom tips of your shoulders behind your heart, which lifts your chest slightly. Good, and then roll back. Coming into your tabletop again, lift up into downward facing dog. So stretch your hips up to the sky. And then take some steps, walk your feet up to your hands into a forward fold. Tailbone tips up, top of your head down. Give your head a gentle shake, yes. And turn side to side, no. Then I like to make little circles here. I don't know why, it just feels nice in my neck, so little head circles. Good, now hugging your legs towards each other. Take a quick look at your knees. You want the front of your kneecaps to point straight forward, so you don't want your knees to knock in. Bend your knees slightly and begin to roll yourself up. Inhaling as you come all the way up. Reach your arms up, take a big stretch. And exhale, dive off all the way back down. And then let's do that again. Inhale, roll yourself up. And now I want to exaggerate that a little bit more. Start to bend your knees. Let your chest come slightly forward as you're going to round down. Pull your low belly up and in and roll yourself up. So making your body into a big wave tonight. And fold again. Slow and controlled. Your wave does not need to look like my wave. Everybody's different. So find an expression for yourself tonight. Just rolling up and down, being very fluid, very water-like tonight in our practice. Last time, let's stay down. So come down, lift your tailbone, find your forward fold again. And just shift the weight side to side in your feet. Bend one knee, bend the other knee. And walk your hands forward and your feet back so that you're in downward facing dog. And press your fingers into the ground, reach your hips way back. Now staying with that wave motion, rise up onto your toes. Start to roll through your whole body, coming forward to plank pose. And then lift and roll yourself back. Let's do a few of those. Just warming up. So again, big wave, like you're waving the ocean. Feel that power in your belly. Pushing back. All right, so we're going to come down onto our knees this time. Roll forward. Let the knees drop, elbows bend, lower down onto the ground. Inhale, find cobra. So squeeze your legs together, shoulders down, elbows in. And then soften. Let's do 2 more cobras. Inhale, squeeze the legs together, rise up, waking up the muscles in our back. And release. One more time. Inhale, lift up. And release. Push off the ground, roll back into child's pose again. Come all the way back. Hips to heels, roll down. And now find your cat pose. Arching up, so rising up onto your knees, arch your back towards the ceiling, let your head hang right between your arms. Good, lift your head, look up by your hands. You're going to pick that right foot up, turn your left toes under, inhale, rise up for a low lunge. Good, so watch this front knee, it's right over your heel, hug your legs towards each other, lift your heart. Good. Releasing down, but you're going to take your hands to the floor, walk to your left, lift up in that left leg, walk around, turn all the way, put your knee on the ground, and then left side, lift up for a low lunge. Hugging your inner thighs together, pulling your ribs in. And then hands come to the ground, coming back through the center. So you're walking to your right. We're going to stop halfway. Turn your toes in. Take a forward bow with your legs wide. Deep breath. Lift your tailbone up. Put some weight into your big toes. Let your heels feel light. And then inhale, halfway lift, reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold. Head comes back towards the ground. Does not need to touch the floor. It might, but it doesn't need to. And if it does touch the floor, walk your feet a little closer in so you can get that sort of hanging feeling here. Good, knees soft, ribs up and in. And start to roll yourself up. Coming all the way up, arms up. All right, nice and fluid like seagrass. You're gonna come around, make a circle, come all the way up. Let's do the other side. Dropping around. And around, nice and easy. And just finding some circles tonight. One more each side. Stay up top. All right, interlace your fingers, draw up tall. Pull your ribs in. Turn your toes slightly in just for balance here. Ribs in. Lean over to your right side. So variation on our half moon. We're going to do with our feet wide. Chin off your chest. And then rise up. Other side, ribs in. Come on over, stretch. And then back up through the center. Take your hands to your heart. Roll your wrists a few times here. Just getting ready to do some work on our arms. And roll the other direction. All right, inhale, big breath, reaches up to the sky. Exhale, we're gonna plie halfway down. So turn your toes out, your knees out like you're on a very wide horse or maybe ballet style. Drop into it, to your goddess pose. We're gonna revisit this pose a few times tonight, so let's give it a test run here. Good, press through your heels, rise up. Exhale, circle your hands back around to your heart. All right, step to the top of your mat. Doesn't matter which direction you're facing, because remember, we're going to mix around. We're going to go in lots of different directions. So do your best just to listen to the cues instead of trying to follow what I'm doing on the screen. So step to the top of your mat. Bring your hands to your heart center. Pause right here. All right, let's inhale, reach the arms up, stretch tall. Exhale, melt down, so make it soft. Halfway lift, roll through your body. Hands down, step back into downward facing dog. All right, right leg. You're going to lift it up like we normally do, but instead of just lifting it, I want you to lift and then drop and circle the leg. So make a big circle around and then step the foot between your hands. If you can't get your foot all the way up, use your right hand to help you get that foot up there. Coming back into your lunge right here. Now back heel, you can take a look. You want to line your back heel up with the front heel, heels on the floor. We're going to rise straight up into our Warrior One, Virabhadrasana One. Take a moment to pull your right hip back, left hip forward. Bend your right knee, lift, and feel that awesome stretch. I really feel a lot in my hip flexor right here when I root that back heel to the floor and pull the ribs in. Good, now take a lean. So you're just going to lean forward, reach your hands back. That's going to give you a little bit of a momentum to make another circle. So left arm's going to come up and around, and you're going to open up into Warrior Two. You might need a wider step. That's fine. Toe heel out. Warrior Two. All right. Arms up over the top of your head. Turn both heels in so they face each other. So let's come back into our goddess pose. Drop down into it. Good, so now we're going to transition to the other side. So you're just going to rise up out of your goddess pose and then turn in the other direction. So over your left knee, right leg is straight. Let's drop the right arm, draw the hip around, and find our Warrior One. Again, if you feel like your feet are too far apart, just come a little closer. So you're in your Warrior One here on this side. Right hip back, Left hip forward, sorry, right hip forward, left hip back, ribs in, and then really rooting down through your right heel. Nice, now take a lean, reach your head forward. And then wind yourself up, warrior two. And then hands come to the floor. Nice, step back into downward facing dog. Stay in downward dog or move through vinyasa. You're going to shift forward, lower either to the floor or chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or a cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Reach back. Big stretch. All right, since we're working in a circle, we have to do the same leg twice. So you're going to lift the right leg up. Drop the leg and circle it around. So get into your hip, make it big. Glide that leg through and step. Back heel on the ground, rise straight up into warrior one. And then take a lean. Keep working your right hip back. Wind up into warrior two. And then release your hands to the floor. Move through your vinyasa or skip it and go right to downward dog. All right, let's try that same leg again. Right leg lifts. Make your circle. Step. Rise up, warrior one. Lean into it. Warrior two. All right, we're going to keep moving. So arms come up, turn both heels in, and come back into your goddess. Bend your knees. Straighten up. And then turning to the left, warrior two. Let's find a reverse. Stretch back. Now bring your hands to the floor. Leg comes back. You're in plank pose. Lower through chaturanga or the floor. Upward dog or a cobra. Downward facing dog. Hold it right there. Catch your breath. All right, we're going to do that right leg again just so we kind of imprint it and get it. Right leg lifts. Make a big circle around. Leg comes through the center. Back heel down. Rise up. Take a lean. Windmill into warrior two. Oops, sorry, there goes my microphone. All these technical difficulties. Warrior two. Sorry about that. All right, turning towards the sides. So reach it up. Plie down. Drop into it. Good. Lift up. Let's turn it to the left. Good. Reverse. Stretch back. Hands to the ground. Move through your vinyasa. Right leg lifts. Big circle. Take the leg up between your hands. Back heel down. Rise up, inhaling. Good. Take a lean. Come up into warrior two. Arms up to the center, both heels in. Plie down. Reach it up. Let's open to the left. Reverse, stretch back. And windmill your hands to the floor. Move through your vinyasa. Downward dog. All right, here's where our brain gets a little bit of work. We're going to do that same thing left side. So left leg reaches up. Draw a big circle. So drop it around. Swing through, step by your left thumb. Back heel down. Warrior one, inhale. Exhale to lean, reach forward. Open up into warrior two. Arms up, both heels in, plie down through the center. Inhale, push through the heels, open into warrior two on the other side. Right arm lifts, stretch back for reverse. Hands to the floor, move through your vinyasa. Left leg again, reach it up. Big circle and around. Step right between your hands. Back heel down, rise up, inhale. Take a lean. Warrior two. Back to the center, both heels in, plie down, right in the middle. Lift up, moving to the right, warrior two. Right arm back, hands to the ground, move through your vinyasa. Exhale, inhale, heart up. Exhale, downward dog. Stay here or take a few more of those big rolling waves forward into plank. Lift from the belly, roll back. And nice and free flowing, rolling. How much of your entire spine can you get involved in your roll? Good. Hold your downward dog. So we need to do our left leg again. So do twice on the right. So left leg lifts. Big circle around. Step your foot by your left thumb. Right heel down. Warrior one. Inhale up. Take a bow. Move into warrior two. Arms up, both heels in, plie down into the center. Goddess. Inhale, lift. Turn to the right. Warrior two. Reverse, stretch back. Hands to the ground. Move through your vinyasa. Exhale. Remember, you can always skip those and go right to downward dog. Left leg reaches up, big circle and around. Step between your hands, rise up, warrior one. Take a bow, warrior two. Good, come to the center, heels in, plie down. Inhale, lift, open over to the right side. Reverse, stretch back, and hands to the floor. Move through your vinyasa. Exhale, inhale, and back into downward facing dog. My mic does not want to stay on tonight. See if I try it in the back, maybe. Downward dog, breathing right there. Find your breath. If you need a child's pose, or if it just would feel more restorative, move into a child's pose. Otherwise, stay right there with your downward dog for another breath or two. We'll take it one more time through on each side, and then we'll move on to do some other fun things. All right, so everyone comes to downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Big circle with the right leg, up and around. Step the foot through by your right thumb, left heel down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lean, or maybe take flight, lift the back leg, find warrior three. Foot comes down, we open into warrior two. To the middle, both arms up, both heels in. Exhale, come right down through the center. Inhale, lift. Open up onto the other side. Reverse, left arm up, stretch back. Hands to the floor, move through your vinyasa. Downward dog, right leg up. Big circle around. Step your foot through, back heel down, rise up. Exhale to lean. Maybe take flight or just hold that lean. Foot down, warrior two. Turn to the center, both heels in. Exhale, plie into it. Inhale, lift. Turning to the left side, warrior two. Reverse, stretch back. Hands to the ground, move through your vinyasa or downward dog. Downward dog. Left leg, inhale up, big circle, step, rise up, warrior one. Lean or float the back leg up, find your balance. Foot down, right arm up and over, you're in warrior two. Turn to the center, both heels in, plie down, exhale. Inhale, lift. Turning to the right, warrior two. Right hand comes up and over. Taking your hand down to the ground, move through your vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Left leg again reaches up, big circle around, step, right heel down, rise up, inhale. Lean into it, maybe take flight. Back foot comes down, right arm up and over, warrior two. Turn to the center, plie down. Good, lift up, turn to the right, warrior two. Last time, move through your vinyasa, hands down. Exhale, inhale, downward dog. Hop, step, or float your feet to the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, stretch tall. Hands to your heart. Pause right there. Breathe. Moving into tree balance, you're going to root down through your right leg. Take your left foot to the inside of either your right calf, or you can lift that leg up a little higher. Just don't put your foot on the inside of your knee. All right, hands to your heart to get you started. And then think of what's happening in the world around us, springtime. So make your tree look like an expression of spring, however you like. Nice. You can continue working on your tree pose, or we're going to move into figure four. So we're going to gently lift the leg off the inside of our thigh, slide it across the top of your right thigh. Oop, maybe. And then draw your hips back. So keep this foot flexed. Keep your hips working back. Ribs in. Breathe. If you'd like to work the twist in this pose, we're trying to get our elbow to the sole of our foot. So I usually hold my foot just to get a little leverage so I can hook the tricep of my left hand to the sole of my left foot. Hands in prayer. Push the top hand down to help you turn your chest towards your hands. That might be too much for you tonight, no problem. Just stay where you were in your figure four. Good, and then with a breath, inhale, come out of your pose. Bring your feet back together. Pause. Feeling the work in your left leg, right leg. Rooting into the floor, into the ground. Lift up all 10 toes. And let's take tree on the other side. Left leg down, right leg maybe the inside of your calf. Maybe you're going to lift that leg a little higher. You pick what would be fun, challenging for you, but keep you at your edge. Meaning you can still do it. It's not too hard. Hold it right here. Or maybe make your branches big. Finding springtime. Feel your fingertips all the way down to your foot, your support legs. So feel a flow of breath moving through your body. Stay here or move into figure 4, taking that top leg across the thigh. Send your hips back as you sit into your pose, keeping your right foot flexed. Stay here or add that twist, ribs back, taking your elbow to the sole of your foot, hands stack, push and turn. Nice, and then release out of your pose. I'm having a hard time balancing tonight. How about you all? Reach up, and then hands to your heart. Pause. Just feel the work in your legs. A little gratitude for all the work your body does for you. Bend your knees, come down into seed pose or bija. So come down as deep as you can comfortably come without overtaxing your knees or your hips. So if you can come all the way down. Make yourself as small as you can. So think in terms, again, we're coming back to circles. Coming back to mandala. Mandalas bring us to the center. So think of your little tiny ball here as the center of your space. So can you pull yourself totally in and be the center? Find the center. And then rise slowly up, inhaling as you come all the way up. Reach your arms, stretch tall. Hands to your heart. Nice. So you may turn sideways on your mat. Step your feet out wide. So we did this in our mandala flow, but let's take it a little deeper now. So turn your heels in, toes out. You're going to bend your knees. Maybe getting your hips to line up with your knees. That might be too much. If it is, come up. If you can come here. And then I want you to feel like you have magnets in your feet, and your feet are pulling in. Your legs are plugging into your hip joint. Ribs in. And then you bring your hands to your heart. Feel the top of your head right over your tailbone. Now, here's where the legs start to work. I know you feel it. So breathe. If you want a little traditional goddess pose, you can take your arms out. Keep breathing, holding the pose. A little bit longer, you can do it. Set your mind to it. I know you can do it. I believe in you. Hold on, breathe. Good. Press through the heels. Whew. Feel the legs. I did. Reach the arms up. Make a star. Stretch. Good. Spreading the arms. Turn your left foot in and your right foot out. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Reach your right arm. Gently drop down. Fingertips to your shin. Good place to land. If you can go deeper, feel free to slide the hand down, but don't let your chest drop forward. Keep pulling your chest back and your hips underneath you. You can look down at your foot, or you can look sideways. I want you to do what feels comfortable in your neck. So for most of us, turning our head up towards the ceiling is a lot in your neck. So no need to do that. You can be straight forward or down. Find your yoga breath, your ujjayi, your breath of sound. Inhale fully. On your exhale, left hand is going to come down to the floor, and you're going to start to rotate into pyramid pose. So you might need a little step forward. That's fine. You also might need something for your hands. If you don't have anything, you can put your hands on your shin. Just don't lock your knee. So if it's too hard to keep your fingers on the floor, too much strain in your hamstring, hands on something or your shin. Roll this right hip back and in, left hip forward, and then visualize your glute muscles. Those are your butt muscles. Visualize those muscles hugging in towards your tailbone. So squeezing them in, your inner thighs. So your legs are super fired up here. You can take a bow, working your head down, wherever you can comfortably go. Wade into your left foot, especially your left heel. You might stay here. If you want to continue on, we're going to move into Parvrita Trikonasana, revolved triangle pose. So I'm just going to lift up so that my hands are on my shin. So I have this one long line from my head back to my hips. So I'm not bowed over in this pose. I'm extending my spine long. Now I got to really work hard to work the right hip back. Bring your hand to your right hip is a great place to just remind you to keep that right hip working back. Now if you can start to spin your chest to the right, do so. Hand can stay on, left hand on your shin, or you might be able to move it to the floor, pinky toe side of your foot, maybe a block or a book or something you've got close by, water bottle you can put your hand on. If it's available to you, you can start to reach the right arm up into the pose. If it's too much in your shoulders, don't feel the need to do that. You can leave your right hand on your hip. Inhale fully. And then exhale, come back into your pyramid pose. Gently rise up, inhaling. Feeling the work in that right leg. We're going to shift to the left. Rotate your feet around to the left. Make sure they're lined up heel to heel. Square to the center here. And then you're going to reach your left arm out. Watch so you don't lock this knee. Keep a little softness here. Reach way out, tilt down, bring your hand to your shin, and the other arm comes up. Again, if your shoulders are pinching, it's tight, just let your hand rest here. Let's work on one thing at a time. Get the legs down, and then you can add the arm. If you can slide your hand down, it goes to the back side of your foot. But again, you don't want your chest dropping forward. You want your chest opening up. Good. Top hip here. I want you to do what feels best in your low back. So for some of us, it's the stacking. You're lifting the hip and stacking it on top. If that pinches in the lower to left-hand side of your sacrum, your back, your low back area, then let your right hip drop slightly forward. I find that when my hip drops forward, it takes the pinch out of my lower left back. Trikonasana, triangle pose. All right, move to pyramid. So inhale, breath. On your exhale, hands come down. Step your back foot in just slightly. And then draw your left hip back and your right hip forward. So there's an actual, like you're turning a wheel here. Turn your hips. Really press down into your right heel. Pull your ribs up. And again, if you need support for something on your hands, you can always take your hands to your shin. Or two books, water bottles, soup cans, whatever you got nearby that you can stack. Take a full breath, and if it feels okay, you can go a little deeper into this pose. All right, Parvrita Trikonasana. So we're going to lift up so that we have a nice long line. Soften the knee, head reaches forward, tailbone straight back, hips hugging in. You can leave your right hand on your shin or take it to the floor, moves just diagonal of your little toe. And then we can begin to turn to the left, drawing your left hip back and your right hip forward. Parvrita Trikonasana, revolve triangle. So there's a sense of wringing out your body here. So we are wringing out, but we're also extending the spine. So we don't want to crunch the spine, we want to lengthen the spine. Inhale fully. On your exhale, release. Lifting yourself back up. Find your goddess pose again. Bring your hands to your heart. Plie. And come down. Good, hands on top of your thighs. Dip your right shoulder forward, look over your left. You can push your right hand into your thigh for a little more stretch. And let's do the other side. Drop the shoulder and look over. And then back into the center, hands to your hearts. All right, reach it up. We're going to come over to the right side. So shifting the weight over to the right, you're going to take half a plie. So bend your right knee. You don't have to go very deep, just do what feels okay for you. Come around, start to bend your left knee, and lift up. Let's do that again. Right side, start to bend, drop down. Make your circle, come around, and lift up. Left side, bend the left knee, come on down. Come across, and lift up. Once more to the left, staying with our theme of circles, mandala, and around. Good. Open the hands, take a dive down. Turn your toes in, grab your peace sign fingers around your big toes, bend your elbows, and work your head towards the floor. If you want the shoulder stretch, arms can come up around behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Lift your knuckles up towards the ceiling. So you're unplugging your arms from the shoulders, and then let them spill over the head just as far as your shoulders say is comfortable to go. Knees soft, so don't lock your legs. And you can either have your palms open or you can clasp your palms together. Again, just kind of explore what feels good in your shoulders. And then releasing your hands to the ground. Lift your head, bend your knees, turn your feet out. Maybe come a little deeper right here. Now, side to side. If you come all the way over, Skandasana. So again, don't lock this knee. Toes can come up. And then you can use your hands to help you to the other side. If you're feeling like you want a little more work, a little more power, do it with no hands. Rock side to side. That's perfectly fine to walk your hands over. Beautiful job, everyone. Come back into the center. Turn your hands to the top of your mat. Step back into downward facing dog. Last downward dog of our practice tonight. So let's just remember what we did earlier. Making some circles. We're going to come forward and around. Any way you like. Make a big circle. Hips can roll. Knees soft. You can even take your hips way back and push off. And switch directions. And then a couple of last big ocean waves. Before you bring yourself down to a seated position. So just sit however is comfortable for you. Bring the soles of your feet together. You can sit on a pillow if you like, or you can sit on the ground. Feet come together. Bring your feet close to your body. Take an inhale and then fold. Baddha Konasana, bound feet pose. Take my time. Okay. And lifting up with a breath. Take your feet out wide. And you might even roll the flesh back so you feel your sit bones onto the ground. Now you're going to dig your heels into the floor and gently draw your heels in. Your knees are going to pop up, and you want that softness here. So we don't want our legs so tight here that our knees are locked. So a little softness, knees up, is good. Walk your hands through the center and just come to wherever you can comfortably come. Might be just a bow, might bring your elbows to the floor. Maybe you can lay all the way out. Wherever you are is great. And then find that nice place where you can just be in this pose. So often in the Tibetan culture, you may have seen this where they make mandalas, beautiful mandalas, out of different colors of sand. And the monks will spend hours making these beautiful works of art. Circles inside of circles, circles inside of squares, all geometric patterns, all made out of beautiful colors of sand, different colors of sand. But what's most fascinating about that, as beautiful as these works of art are, there's no attachment by the monks who make them. In fact, as soon as they are wonderfully and beautifully created and designed, they're gone. They're made of sand. First wind, first breath. In fact, some of them will even blow them themselves to release all of that. That's pretty fascinating when you think about that. I like to do art. I don't know if I'm that place yet where I can just let it go, do art and then have it be destroyed. That's complete letting go. So maybe think in terms of your own life areas where, you think you're pretty, I'm pretty go with the flow, nothing really bothers me, but really, how much attachment do we really have? It's interesting to think about. What could you let go? Like the sand. And then use your hands to help lift you up. Reach your arms up. Interlace your fingers, draw your ribs in. All right, you're going to do a big circle. So we're going to come over to the right side. Keep your belly engaged. And then reach around. Come up. Let's do that a few times. Big circles around. Let's do 3 the other way. Just working a little bit in our core. And then back into the center. All right. Take your right arm underneath and your left arm over, side stretch. So we're working our chest up towards the ceiling, really reaching with our left hand. I think of my pinky finger as key to this. I really reach the pinky and start to turn underneath the arm. And up. Let's go with the other side. Reaching up and then come on over. So as you're reaching with the arm, notice if your right hip's starting to pop off the floor, and if it is, root your hip back onto the floor. And then inhale, lift up. All right, turtle. So we're going to just use our hands to lift our knees up. Now, chest comes through the center, and you're going to take your arms underneath. Takes a little finagling here to get your arms underneath. And then you're just going to use the floor. I literally claw the floor, draw your hands under. And it comes a point where your arms start to push on your legs. That's fine. You can let your legs start to drop. So I want you to think of yourself as a turtle here. Round your spine, pull your belly and ribs way up and in to get that total stretch in the back of your spine. Around your kidneys and your liver, all that big stretch back. Let your head start to hang down. You got your turtle shell behind you. If it's available to you, you can keep crawling your feet and your hands out, maybe coming to lay your chest on the ground. All right, so I find it's easiest to flip my arms to pull them out. Make your way up. Good. Bring your feet together. Let's do a few circles in our ankles. And around the other way. And then come onto your back. Oop. I'll move my microphone out of the way. And hug yourself in. Good. Hands on top of your knees. Draw some circles. Roll through your hips, your low back. Just massage your back. And then taking your knees around the other way. All right, so lift your feet up to the ceiling. Take your hands out like the letter T. I don't know if y'all can see me, so listen to my voice here. So we're going to just take our legs like they are hands on a clock, which I realize is a rarity. We don't see that very often. So not a digital clock, a real life clock with hands. So you're going to draw your feet towards your face like 12 o'clock. Good. Now try your best to keep your legs together. You're going to take them over to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6, hold 6, and then come over to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, let's take it around again. So move in your own time. Just take your legs all the way around. How big can you make this? All right, let's go against time. Turn back time. Go the opposite direction. 2 times around, because you went twice around the other direction. And then when you finish, go ahead and bend your knees, hug in, deep breath. And then start to move towards your Shavasana. So laying on your back, or if you want to change it up, you want to do child's pose or something different, that's totally fine. Breath in and out. So we've been focusing on mandalas. Again, mandala is often a word for surrounding circles around something, bringing you to center, bringing you, oftentimes it's thought of bringing you to the center of the universe, bringing you to God, bringing you to divine light, bringing you to Mother Earth, whatever that which is more than you, whatever you want to call that. So to finish tonight, I thought we'd use an ancient practice from the Christian tradition called centering prayer. And centering prayer is, again, similar, believed to bring us to our center. Our center is that place where God resides, God within each one of us. So just be in your Shavasana. Close your eyes. And in centering prayer, we focus on a word or a simple phrase, just to remove the outside distractions and let us focus inward. So in sacred scripture, it says, "Be still and know." Very simple mantra. Be still and know. So I invite you into stillness. Stillness in your body. Be still in your legs. Be still in your arms. Be still in your entire body. And just observe that when you become still physically in your body, the thoughts start to quiet down. The mind becomes quiet. And when the mind becomes quiet, not empty of thoughts, just quiet, then we can listen. Oftentimes we're telling the universe, God, the divine, what we need, what we want, how you can help me, fix me. But instead, when we're quiet, when we're still, then we can listen. And that's where the wisdom comes in. That's where we can find our center, or we can be in our center. contemplate is to rest in the presence of the divine presence of God. Be still and know. Stillness brings us to knowing. Be present moment, this moment now. Be still. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know in your body, know in your heart, know in your soul. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still. Be still. Be still. So of course, since you're home, you're welcome to stay in your Shavasana for a little bit longer if you like. As we'll finish out our practice, bringing hands to heart in gratitude. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all know peace. And may all know that that peace is found in stillness. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through practice tonight. It's a little different tonight, doing the circles and back and forth vinyasa. But you know me now, if you've been following me for a while, or some of you are my students in my classes, you know that I never do the same thing twice. I'm always mixing it up. It's just kind of my personality. I like to do lots of different things. So I hope that you will join me on Thursday night or whenever you can on SunWater Spa for our yoga practice. There's lots of other great classes online through SunWater, so feel free to check those out as well. Hopefully we can practice in person again soon. I am definitely looking forward to that. So have a great night, and I'll see you again sometime soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.